Okay, so we've talked about communication with, slang and dialects and trends and knowledge gaps and internet English and this sort of thing. But I had an interesting thing happen to me a couple of years ago. I was with some people that were about 15 years younger than I, and we were all sitting around. We were going to go out to a nightclub or a bar and have a drink. And, there was we were at this apartment and people kind of coming and going. And this one guy is talking and he says, yeah, I'm going to bounce over to Susie's and then I'm going to bounce over to Joe's and then I'll bounce back and I'll see you guys in an
Mm-hmm.
hour or so. And I'm like nodding my head, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I had a good buddy and he's watching me and he is laughing his head off. And he says, "You don't understand what he says. You don't understand a word he says." I says, "Yeah, I do." "Well, what did he mean?" "He's
Mm-hmm.
bouncing." "No, what does bouncing mean?" I go, "I don't know. It
Mm-hmm.
means he's going to go here, he's going to go there, it's like a ball bouncing all over the place." And I go,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh, really? That's what it means." And then someone else was saying,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go and do this and do that, but I don't want, I don't want Susie to know. So just keep it on the DL. And I'm going like
Mm-hmm.
this, and my buddy is like 4 minutes apart. These two things happen, right? And he's laughing. He says, "You don't know what she meant at all." I says, "Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
like keep it on the DL. Yeah, I got it." "Oh, what does DL mean?"
Mm-hmm.
Download. He says,
Yeah.
"Keep it on the down low." Oh, the down
Okay. Yeah.
low.
The
Really?
down low, of course. Oh, come on,
I don't
Scott.
even
Where have
know
you been for the
down
last
low.
20 years?
All I
Yeah.
got was don't say anything to Susie
Mm-hmm.
about what
Mm-hmm.
Jody wants to do, right?
Yeah.
But it was so funny, and that's like 15
Mm-hmm.
years. It's like, oh, I don't understand what these people are saying, and they're using English words.
Yeah. But you're quite chilled about it. My dad was a classically trained actress. He worked for the BBC, and he worked also as a broadcaster. And he had this very, very precise idea of what a word should be. So when his grandchildren would say to him "hi," he would say "low," and they would go, "What? You say hi, I say low." You know? And they're saying, "No, I'm saying hello. I know you are. So please say hello. I don't like hi." And he was like that. He was a bit cranky in that way. And people have this kind of, whether it's about protecting their own generational language or they feel more comfortable with what they were brought up with. So, for example, when I went to college, we had an exchange program with an American university. And this girls' volleyball team came over for a year. And they used to go around everywhere saying, "Hi, guys, hi, guys, hi, guys." And we were all sitting there very English thinking, but they're all girls. What's this? Why are they saying guys? Don't they understand that they're girls? And of course, nowadays, everybody says that. You know, even in Australia, they say that all the time. I guess in Canada, in the UK, "Hi, guys." And we all understand that it means everybody in general. But
Yes.
in those days, it was like, oh, this is really strange. There is no way I'm going to say "Hi, guys," but I do now,
Yeah.
of course.
So the language evolves over time, is really what we're saying.
Yes, yes, and but there can be a very big gap between the generations. The language that you learned as a kid. For example, my grandmother, she was from Lancashire, near Manchester, and one of the things she said a lot was, "Don't mither yourself." It
Hmm.
was it's a very nice. I don't know if you said in Canada as well. It means like, don't worry,
Never,
don't
never heard of
stress
it.
yourself out about something. Yeah, but she would
Don't
say, "Don't mither
mither.
mither yourself. Don't mither yourself." And when I'm talking to my mother, I will say to her, "Oh, don't mither yourself," because that's something she used a lot with her mother. But if I say that to the younger generation in my family now, I say, "Don't mither yourself," and they're like, "What?
Yeah. What do you
Mither?"
mean? Yeah.
Hmm.
And
So,
a really interesting exercise is to go back and read a book that was written in 1920,
hmm
and it's just amazing. The words that they use. That, oh yeah, I know that word, but haven't used it in years. Or the
yes,
structure of the English that they wrote, or
hmm
the way that they would describe things, and it's really amazing because you can then see, because like you were talking, when the written English tends to be way more formal. So
hmm
even now, our written English tends to be more formal than our spoken English,
hmm
same as it was 100 years ago. But if you go back 100 years ago and you look at how they wrote, and then you look at how
Hmm.
we write now, you can see there's quite a difference.
Yeah, every generation has a different language.
Cool. All right. Cool. So that's generational differences, and we're going to stop here at that point, and we're going to talk about expectations in our next lecture.